Hi, Hillel here from Life Essentials, and today we are going to touch upon a topic economics. And I'm going to just ask you a simple question, and probably that question would answer the understanding of economics. So let's get started. And the question goes like this: in a poor country, in a year, there was excess rice produced. I repeat, in a poor country, in a given year, there was excess rice produced. Now the question is, will there be demand for that rice? I hope you got the question. So the question is whether there will be demand for that rice. Now, if you understand the entire question, you should be able to understand like what economic means. Analyze that question and think about it again. In a poor country, there is excess rice produced. Also, I am adding one more aspect to it. People are starving. Now, if people are starving, now you tell me whether there will be demand for that rice. So here, please do drop in your comments. If you can stop your video, drop in your comments. But let's continue to understand what would happen in such a situation. Okay? The statement says that the country is poor, and at the same time it says that people are starving, and at the time like the country has produced a lot of rice. Any demand for any product or any essentials can only come if and only if there is like income back to it. If you have income, then that income can have a demand for a product. So if the people are poor in a country, how would that demand be backed by the income? So your rice will not have a lot of demand because there are people who are not able to afford the price of rice as well. Okay, so I hope this question solves a lot of problem. Similarly, now you take any example in your country, like whether it is US, UK, India, whatever their methods of handling cash or any other methods, wherever you want to apply this concept of economics. I'm going to take a simple example. In India, we have cash reserve ratio in bank, right? Now the cash reserve ratio is nothing but there is a ratio that banks have to maintain certain amount of cash, okay, in liquid, right? Now, and obviously they cannot do business on that cash, so that's a reserve cash. Now if you increase, or if the government asks you to increase the reserve ratio, suppose you have a reserve ratio of 5% of the entire cash, that means 5% of the cash cannot be utilized by the banks, so that 5% of the cash cannot be lended, so that they cannot do business on it. And what happens if the regulatory tells them that now the reserve ratio has gone up from 5% to 6%? What essentially they have done is they have switched on a plug wherein they are saying, I want to pull the excess cash from the market. Okay, if you pull out the excess cash from the market, okay, then your country will have, or your people will have, lesser cash in their hand. If they have lesser cash in their hand, so the income will go down. If the income will go down, the demand will go down, and that is what it essentially means, right? The demand is always backed by income? And I hope this question is making a lot of sense in terms of understanding any economic developments or any parameters that you see from an economic perspective. They all relate to a similar question, right? Demand, supply, and how it is backed by income. Hope you like the topic that we discussed today. Please do like, subscribe, and also try to watch my previous videos, which will give you a lot of knowledge in terms of investing and other aspects of life essentials. Thank you.